Hey everyone, thanks for coming back for another segment of Michigan Conservative Roundtable. My name's TJ, still flying solo. Hopefully Mac comes back soon. Uh, just like to start off with, I'm sure everyone's heard by now what the Democrats in the House of Representatives are doing. They've begun their impeachment inquiry, and uh, for some time now, Rush Limbaugh has repeatedly mentioned the fact that what we have is a silent coup against President Trump. And it is his contention, and I agree, that we are now in a state of cold civil war. Initially, the coup was being waged by swamp members from leftover administration officials, Obama administration officials, and the CIA, FBI, DOJ. And if you the talk shows this past weekend, uh, basically what's being said there, I'm convinced more than ever we're in a state of cold civil war. Uh, it's pretty obvious on Fox News. On Fox News, they're about going at each other. In case you haven't heard, on the Democrat side of Chris Wallace, Shepard Smith, Judge Andrew Napolitano, Juan Williams, and those on the Republican side or Trump side, uh, Sean Hannity, Tucker Carlson, Joe DeGeneva, Jesse Waters, Greg Gutfeld, and a couple others also. And for some time, Greg Gutfeld's been saying on the Five that if the Democrats were successful in removing Trump from office, his base would be so enraged, who knows what will happen. Uh, just recently, Mr. High Road Hugh Hewitt, he too has come to the conclusion that we're in a state of cold civil war. Uh, in fact, he says we're in our second one. The first one was being waged by the swamp, CIA and them, CIA, FBI, DOJ, and now the second one, Democrats in the House of Representatives with their impeachment inquiry. And so, per Hugh Hewitt, we're in our second cold civil war now. Uh, I'd just like for people to consider, if you remember how the Carter Page had that FISA warrant issued against him because he went over to Russia, and then compare that to Joe Biden's son Hunter, who went over to Ukraine, worked for a corrupt Ukrainian billionaire oligarch, the company Burisma, and nothing happened. And then Biden turns around and gets the prosecutor fired that was going to look into Burisma and question his son. So all you got to do is compare those two scenarios and see the injustice in it. The media obviously has no concern over this. They're going to give a pass to Biden and his son. You got Adam Schiff distorting the truth as opening remarks in the impeachment inquiry, and to include even on the news shows. So much so that Donald Trump referred to Adam Schiff's comments as treasonous, mentioning the possibilities of civil war. Of course, upon Trump saying that, you got the high road never Trumpers, those Republicans. Well, now they're going to admonish Trump for his inflammatory remarks. Again, Democrats can say whatever they want to, but if President Trump or anyone responds to it, well, shame on us. You got a Democrat in Texas by the name of Al Green. He said, "I'm concerned that if we don't impeach the president, he will get reelected." Adam Schiff stated that President Trump's character is so egregious that it can't wait for the election, that he must be impeached. So you got the Democrats basically trying to undo the election. And I'll tell you what, the YouTube clips are making the rounds now, where you can see Jerry Nadler and Maxine Waters and the whole group spouting off about how unjust Clinton's impeachment was, and you could just take what they're saying and apply it to this scenario. So, if you get a chance, kind of watch those and see for yourself the hypocrisy that they practice. As Paul Harvey would say, page 2, President Trump has withstood everything they've thrown at him. All they have left now is impeachment. And this is why the Democrats are so dangerous. They will dispense with Trump any way they can, and if they're successful, once they dispense with him, then they'll come after us. They'll get us on the tax issue, Second Amendment issue. They'll probably attack almost every one of the Bill of Rights, and this is why they're so dangerous. They're so desperate to get President Trump, I think they're even willing to sacrifice Joe Biden. If you understand politics, you would understand he's really not their guy anyways. He's not liberal enough. He's not extreme enough. The one they really want is Elizabeth Warren. So I'm convinced they're willing to sacrifice Joe Biden in their efforts to get President Trump. Okay, so the race is on. Race is on between the Democrats and President Trump and his DOJ team, we'll say. They're looking into CrowdStrike, Hunter Biden, Steele dossier, the D.C. swamp in general. Who's going to get who first here? And I'll tell you what, I sure hope it's President Trump. And then this is something I don't think people realize, but a lot of the Obama administration officials, if there's an impeachment, they can be subpoenaed to testify. And I don't know if they've thought that far ahead. Sometimes you just got to wonder where their head's at in all of this. I'd like to remind everyone, please read the phone transcript at the center of this whole issue. Read it, reread it, understand it, know what's in it, and understand just the depths of what the Democrats are capable of doing, the depths they're able to sink to. Okay? And certainly this is not the time for taking the high road. Okay? So I'm going to add my own personal statement. Keep your powder dry. And then I'll add with, be safe, watch your six, and don't tread on me.